What's going on, y'all? It's your boy No Credit, and I'm back again with another one. I need you guys to do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon for more videos like this. That being said, let's get into it. With recent news of Terence Crawford moving up in weight to challenge the WBA champion at junior middleweight Israel Madrimov, Terence Crawford has made it vocal and has taken to Twitter, Instagram, and shown us that even past his prime, he's still in tip-top shape. I mean, look at this body of work right here. Look how strong he look. And he's moving up in weight. He looks strong. This guy is a wrestler. He wrestled growing up as a kid. I believe this is a UFC gym still. He likes to train with UFC fighters. He respects their hustle. He respects their grind. They probably do a little bit of UFC, but don't put it on camera. We see him wrestling all the time with a lot of people, reporters, wrestlers. I ain't never seen him wrestle with a UFC fighter though, but I've seen him wrestle with a lot of fighters, reporters, his cousins, his nephews, his trainers. He has put his trainers in headlocks. I even seen him put Warren Buffett. He put Warren Buffett in a headlock one time. But yeah, Terence Crawford is the pound-for-pound king of boxing. And he's the guy that has to do 3 times as much just to get that recognition, when everybody in the world knows he is number one. Everybody knows he is number one, yet they expect him to do 3 times as much. Why? Why would you expect him to do 3 times as much as everybody else? Let me prove it. Easy. Alexander Usyk, great fighter, 2-time undisputed. But when we look at Alexander Usyk resume, he has half as many fights as Terence Crawford, which means he literally just started his career, even though they're about the same age. He literally just started his career, which means Terence Crawford's been doing it longer. How can you make somebody who's been doing it less, you make him pound for pound number one, and he's officially a heavyweight? How can you make him pound for pound number one over a guy that's been doing it more? Usyk may never reach 40 fights, let alone 31 knockouts. He may not even reach 31 fights at the rate he's fighting. You know what's crazy? Everybody says it's all about activity. Crawford don't fight enough, so he's not number one pound for pound. What about Alexander Usyk? The guy doesn't fight that much, yet they put him on top of Terence Crawford on the pound-for-pound list. Now, I know what you guys are going to say next. Well, Terence Crawford himself said Alexander Usyk is number one pound-for-pound. He said, I'm no hater, but Alexander Usyk is number one pound-for-pound. Honestly, I think Terence Crawford said that because he knows Inoue is not number one pound for pound, which was more disrespectful. He'd rather see Alexander Usyk on top than Inoue, meaning like Usyk deserve it a little bit more than Naoya Inoue, even though Naoya Inoue has more fights. But the level of competition he's been fighting is very, very low. So Usyk deserves it more than Inoue, in my opinion, because he's fighting better competition. You know, even though he's a heavyweight, but if we was to count him, his competition has been way better than Inoue. That's why I see Terence Crawford say, if anybody should be pound for pound over me, it should be Alexander Usyk. But with him saying that, of course, if they're going to put Usyk number one, they are going to drop you to number 3, which is the number that we're talking about. You have to do 3 times as much to get your recognition, while these guys can do something that you already done years ago and steal that shine from you. You are always the first to do it and the last to do it. Now, when we look at the landscape of boxing, when we look at the path to 3-time undisputed from any fighters, the path to undisputed from any fighters, right? When we look at the landscape of boxing, who has the best chance to become undisputed 3 times? Jermall Charlo? No. Jermall Charlo had the opportunity to become undisputed 2 times, but he didn't take advantage of it. He would have been the second guy to become undisputed twice in the 4-belt era, because he fought immediately after Terence Crawford beat Errol Spence. Then he fought Canelo Alvarez immediately after Terence Crawford beat Errol Spence. Jermall Charlo had an opportunity to become the second middle fighter to do that. But Jermall Charlo, he went into the Canelo Alvarez fight with no intentions to win. So he never believed in himself. He never thought he could win the fight. So he didn't even try. He didn't even try to win. He just thought, I'm not supposed to win this fight because I'm moving up 2 weight classes. You're moving up 2 weight classes, that means you're not supposed to win? You think that's how boxing works? So why the freak did you take the fight? Just for the bread? You know, a guy like Jermall Charlo need to be penalized or punished for that, in my honest opinion. Like, he didn't give no effort. He didn't care. It's not that Canelo was much better than him, because that's what casuals are saying. The casuals are saying, oh, Canelo was just that much better than him. No. If he was going to try to win, and Canelo was just... And every time he tried, Canelo would shut down everything he tried to do, it's a different story. The guy never tried to win. That's not how he fights. He wasn't throwing no punches. He wasn't doing nothing. Oh, Canelo made him do that. That's cap, bro. He already had in his mind he wasn't going to win. It had nothing to do with Canelo Alvarez. He said, when I get in here, I don't want to take no damages. I don't want to get into a raw fight. That was his mindset. Not knowing that what he seen on TV was not what he saw in real life after the fight with Nello. And you could clearly see that because after the fight with Nello, he started crying. He like, man, this wasn't so bad. Yeah, it wasn't so bad. The guy was hyped up like he's better than slicing bread. You went in there, you didn't try, and after the fight, you started crying like, yo, I could have did better than that. Yeah, if you was going to try. I mean, you go out on your shoe. If you get knocked out, you get knocked out. But most likely, you wasn't getting knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Most likely, you wasn't getting knocked out. You just never really tried. You just never tried. But anyway, moving forward, T-Boy Crawford is the only guy, when we look at the landscape, maybe other than Inoue, if Inoue decides to go to 126, he's the only other guy that has a shot at becoming undisputed 3 times. Crawford could do it 4. We don't know if Inoue could do it 4 times. But we know he could try to do it 3 times. It's the 126-pound division. It's a solid division. Inoue can compete up there. Even though he showed some vulnerabilities in his last fight, as he moved up, he looked more vulnerable. We haven't seen Crawford look too vulnerable yet. So we'll see. Once Crawford starts to show his age, then he'll start thinking about retirement. But as of right now, he's even at the age of 36, he's looking like prime time. Honestly, I just feel bad for this guy, Israel Madrimov. Israel Madrimov has to be the first victim that has to suffer because Terence Bud Crawford is on a mission. And that mission is to become the Michael Jordan of boxing. The Michael Jordan of boxing, guys. And what does that represent? The Michael Jordan of boxing represents the first to ever win that championship 3 times in boxing. Put his name up there with the likes of Henry Armstrong, but by himself in the 4-belt era. You understand? This is all-time great status we're talking about. He wants to be a GOAT of boxing. While boxing fans are saying, he hasn't did this, he didn't beat this guy, he didn't do none of that. It's not up to the boxing fans. It's up to him. As long as he keeps doing what he's doing, that's all that's going to matter. You know? He don't need to listen to these guys. He just needs to keep doing what he's been doing from the start. And that's all that's going to matter. You understand what I'm saying? That's the only thing that's going to matter. Keep doing what you've been doing. You know? Keep winning in impressive fashion. Because the level of opposition he's fighting is far superior to the level of opposition Inoue is fighting. We seen what happened to Inoue's last fight. He got dropped face first. If that happened to Bud, they got him at number 3 right now on the pound-for-pound list. They'll drop that man to like number 8. They'll put him under Canelo Alvarez. I mean, it's ridiculous. Your favorite fighter is Terence Crawford. We heard Israel Madrimov say, that's my favorite fighter. Yeah, and you're about to get knocked out cold by your favorite fighter. So, keep saying that. Yeah, man. But, you know, the man worked so hard to get the recognition he finally deserved, and it doesn't last for long. You know, within 2 months, he was stripped of his IBF belt. Then people are on the internet lying, saying he's ducking boots. A guy who done absolutely nothing in the split box. He hasn't done shit. Literally clout chasing the man, attach his name to the man just so people can talk about him. Nobody was mentioning him. Nobody was talking about him on social media. Nobody was talking about him on Instagram until he attached his name to Terence Crawford. Now people have to talk about him because we know how these casual boxing fans are. Once a guy attaches his name to the best fighter in the world, people are going to start mentioning him. Oh, maybe he is ducking him. He don't talk about him. He don't mention him because he's not supposed to be mentioned. He hasn't done shit in the sport of boxing. Talking about him is going backwards. I remember years ago you guys kept saying he was fighting level opposition. Now he's in a position. He got the money behind him. He has the accolades in front of him. He has the accolades. He has the money behind him to fight the big name fighters. And y'all want him to go backwards. So there's no win-win with the fans. He needs to keep doing what he's doing. And he's going to continue to steal his number one spot back. You know, because out of everybody that's on that pound for pound list, he's the only guy who's really, truly deserving of that number one spot. The only reason I'm not arguing with the Alexander Usyk situation, because Usyk is a solid fighter. Tyson Fury win was great, but Inoue was number one, and Inoue didn't deserve that number one. That's why I'm not arguing with that. But anyway, this is the true number one, and he's going to prove that come August 3rd. It's your boy No Credit, and I'm out.